Hi everyone, Empress Justice here. If you'd like to check out daily readings, you can check them out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you'd like to check out my July reading for 2022, you can check that out on Empress Justice Tarot YouTube. There's also a full moon in Uttara Ashada reading that I've done. That's actually coming up in a few days. It's the 9th now. It's coming up in 4 days. So if you want to check out the full moon forecast for Uttara Ashara, you can go ahead and check that out on Empress Justice Tarot YouTube. Now, update on me. There's nothing really been going on here. Yesterday was a bit weird though, because my neighbors went out. First, a couple of things that I want to mention. The first thing is that the relocation agent was here yesterday, and they've been talking in really hushed tones with these other neighbors. So I'm going to be really honest. I think the relocation agent was kept in the dark about how serious all of this Havana syndrome shit was. And I think they were kept in the dark about the ins and outs of you know, how the mental illness slander works and all that type of stuff. I think they were kept in the dark about it. I think they know they treated me like shit, and I think they know that there's no coming back from that. So I think they've kind of been caught up now, because when I do my lives, I don't care who's upstairs, because it's got nothing to do with them. But I think they might have heard what was going on, and I think it might have put them in a different kind of position than they were originally. So I really feel like the relocation agent genuinely didn't understand the extent of it. I don't know if the landlords understood the extent of it. They normally do. They normally understand more than the workers who are sent to kind of be as a go-between between you and the landlords. But it's not always the case. Sometimes the relocation agents can be involved. Brent Mind, God knows how many relocation agents were involved with my perps. But for this one in particular, I don't think that she knew the full extent of the situation. One weird occurrence that happened though. This was later on in the evening. This wasn't earlier on in the day when the relocation agent was here. I think that family went out, and a couple of the adults asked some other neighbors around here what they thought of black people, because I heard someone ask, what do you think of black people? And then she said, black people, I don't mind them. Thinking that's big of you. But honestly, that's a weird direction to take that. I just thought it was weird. I thought, oh Lord, what's happening here? I don't know. I think what's going on is that family might not be able to stay here because the summer's coming up, and you know the kids are going to get bored, and when they get bored, they try me. So I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. I know that even though the mother is not a good person at all, there are certain aspects about her where she tries not to take it too far if she can possibly help it. She's one of those people, right? Yeah, she is a coward. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. She's a fucking coward. But there are certain lengths to which she tries not to go down to. If things are going too far, she will always try to nip it in the bud. Always. Okay? Now, there are times where she's gone too far. She called me a nonce out of nowhere. She was screaming about tarot readings and how she's going to interrupt my tarot readings. She's done a lot of fucked up shit. And she's not the only one, okay? But from what I can tell, it's the people around her that cause more drama to her life than she does. Because the thing is, the kids keep using the M word because they feel like they still think it's a game, even though they're completely aware that there's life and death in the mix. They don't care. They still think it's a game. Her sister comes over here, keeps using the N word. And at one point, the mother had to turn around and say to the aunt, you know what? If you're going to keep fucking up, you're going to keep coming around here and starting arguments, get the fuck out of my flat. So it got to that point. So for me, the mother is like, she tries. She doesn't succeed. She's too much of a sociopath to succeed. But she does try. Okay? It's the people around her that are gassing her head up. And I feel like that's actually partially her fault, because she hasn't actually been telling the truth to that many people. And when she has been telling the truth, she's been victimizing herself. But from what I can see, it's the people around her who just won't knock it off. It doesn't matter how many times she asks people not to do something. It doesn't matter how many times she just asks people to knock it off. They won't listen to her. They just will not listen to her. And they don't care what happens to her, really. Like, as long as they get to upset me, they don't give a shit. They don't even give a shit if they end up homeless. As long as they get to upset me, that's what they care about. Because in their minds, they want to prove that they're not scared of me. I just want them to leave me alone. I don't give a fuck if they're scared of me. I don't care. Just leave me the fuck alone. It's not hard. It's not difficult. It really isn't difficult. But in their minds, they always want to try to fuck with me because they want to be able to prove that I'm not God. Me being God has never been in question here. That's never been a thing. Like, for me to, like, she's not a god, so I have to fuck with her. No matter how much my life burns to the ground, I've got to fuck with her because she's not God. I'm like, who said I was? Just want to be left alone. That's all I want. I don't want to be, subject to this crap every single day. But yeah, I knew that the peaceful period wasn't going to last, and it was going to start up again at some point. Because it had been starting up again, but like really, really slowly. And for the most part, it wasn't the mother that was starting it up. It was everybody else around her starting it up, including her sister. So yeah, I knew it was going to start up again. As soon as I heard like, oh, what do I think of black people? I'm like, what the fuck? And the V2K, whoever was using the V2K, they tried to spook me. I don't listen to them. I really don't listen to them. They got nothing worth saying that's worth a damn. So I tend not to listen to them, and I tend to just do me anyway. Yeah, so they haven't done anything to me specifically, but like it's creeping up to that point because they refuse to listen to what the mother tells them. Because they want to prove that they're not scared of me, even though they are. And the way some people work, right, is that I can't remember what it's called, that aggression thing. I saw it on the Umbrella Academy, and I'm thinking that makes sense. It made sense because that's what this reminds me of. So there's this kind of aggression that children normally go through, right? So if there are any children who go through like a usually chaotic or aggressive environment, then they'll kind of release that aggression through doing things that they know they're not supposed to be doing. It's like an impulsive need to just do what they're not supposed to be doing and to cause as much aggression as possible because that's what they're used to. Adults can do the same thing as well. They can project that aggression. And quite often they do that in a bid to, not only because chaos and aggression is the only thing that they're used to, but children and adults who engage in this behavior, they do that to prove they're not scared. Usually the people who go out of their way to start trouble or go out of their way to start aggression, go out looking for a fight, normally they're the most scared people. Normally they're the most scared people. Normally they're the ones who have grown up in a really violent or chaotic environment, or, you know, because they just need to go back to what they know. So they're not used to quiet. They're not used to, I think the mum's like that, but on a lesser extent. They're not used to quiet. They're not used to calm. They're not used to anything remotely in the way of normalcy. So they go out of their way to cause chaos. Now, this can either be done subconsciously or consciously. It doesn't always have to be done intentionally. Some people do it subconsciously, like me. I used to do that subconsciously. If it got too quiet, I used to dissociate. But then that's a different thing. That's a different thing. But that's basically what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with one person who tries to straddle the fence and doesn't succeed. And then we've got people in her life who want to start a fight because that's what they're used to. And they want to prove that they're not scared. They're fucking terrified. If you keep going around looking for trouble, to me, that means you're scared. And to me, that means you're trying to get revenge on people that frighten you. Even if those people didn't frighten you on purpose, you still want to get revenge on them. Because they made you feel vulnerable, and God forbid, you should be made to feel vulnerable without that person paying for it. So there's a lot of like mental fuckery going on. And it's not even just upstairs, it's just with perps in general. There's a lot of mental fuckery going on. The more scared they are, the more they push, because the tension of them continuously fucking up and you not doing anything, it kind of sends them spiraling. So that's why they continue to do what they do. But yeah, it gets to a point where people just want revenge on you for scaring them, and not even scaring them on purpose, just by nature of you being you, they want revenge on you for making them feel vulnerable for no fucking reason. For no reason. It's different to me, because when people try to get a rise out of me or try to make me feel bad, it's always strategic. So I use I use strategy back, because the thing is, trying to scare me, intimidate me, make me feel bad, all of that is leading towards a specific purpose. So that's how I treat it. But I'm dealing with people who want revenge for me scaring them, even if me scaring them is not the actual point. That's why I went through, when is it, November? That's why I went through almost a year of this. It's because the first thing was that aggression that I was talking about, acting out, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is trying to get revenge for somebody being made to feel vulnerable, or somebody being made to feel like that's what they want revenge for. And it's honestly quite pathetic. How the fuck do you try to get revenge for something you didn't cause? No, I mean, how the fuck does one person, or they, the separate party, try to get revenge for something that you initially didn't cause anyway? If people are scared of you, that's their business. It's not your business. I think it's called strategic violence. I don't know. It's the strategic violence. It's that I can't remember what it's called. Maybe it is strategic violence. Maybe it is. I don't know. But that's what it makes me think of. Acting out on purpose because you're not used to people being calm around you, or people being easy around you. That's the first thing. And the second thing is trying to get revenge on somebody for making you feel vulnerable or making you feel insecure in yourself. And again, you don't need to do this on purpose in order for people to want to destroy you. You don't have to do this on purpose. You could just be out here living your life. But if your presence intimidates people, if you make people feel small, like not even by saying or doing anything to them, but just by being yourself, you'd be amazed at how vengeful people can be. Hell, I've gone through that myself. I've gone through those emotions myself. There are times where, I don't know, I've loved a person, or, you know, there's a thin line between love and hate. There's been times where I've truly loved a person, right? But because of the strength of my passion for that person, it actually made me resent them. Like, if there is any human being alive who makes you feel a strong, powerful emotion, a person's natural instincts will be to try to destroy you because they're not used to that type of vulnerability. Any emotion that makes us feel out of control, we want to get revenge for, because as far as we're concerned, that person revealed something in us that we didn't want people to know. So now we want to get our own back. And that's what I've been dealing with when it comes to the perps. That's what I've been dealing with. And I've had that myself. But then again, the kind of person I am, I'm a mirror to what I'm surrounded by. I've always been a mirror to what I'm surrounded by. So it was never even just like a solo thing with me. It was always me reflecting off other people, feeling strongly to me, not knowing why, and wanting revenge on me for it. So, you know, and people can, or you know, try to, and this is the thing, upon hearing this, people will try to turn around and say, well, you're not that special, and knock it off. The bravado is embarrassing. Knock it off, mate. Knock it off. I've been going through this for too long to be fooled by anybody trying to say, oh, you're not that important, you're not that powerful. No man is an island. We are powerful and important to each other. And the second we accept that, the better off we'll be. Okay, so I'm just doing some readings now. I try to do it. I try to do it first thing because I'm thinking if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. Yeah. Oh, so that's my thing. When you make somebody feel a powerful emotion, no matter what emotion it is, people always try to get back at you for that. That's what it ultimately boils down to. And I know everybody's going to say that, oh, you know, you're just imagining it, or you're just hypothesizing, or it's another lame theory. I'm like, bitch, I'm smarter than you. Stop. And once again, I've been humiliated enough and abused enough in my life to know why people do what they do. When people don't get the fuck up off you, you learn a few things. Just see. Sorry, I wrote them down, you see. Look, I wrote them down. Yeah, so when people don't get the fuck up off you, you learn a few things. You know? You learn a thing or two. Okay. Oh, all right. So I'm going to get on with my readings. I'm going to get on with what I have to do over here. I wanted to be able to do that and this at the same time, but I can't. I've got a single track mind. I can only focus on one thing at a time. So I love you guys. Peace and blessings. Take care. Hope you enjoyed my little half-hour thing. I'm just going to get on with these readings now. I don't have that much to do. I've just got to do these readings and done. But then I might have to prepare for the new moon in Pusher reading as well. So yeah, I've got quite a bit to do. Not a lot to do, but yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.